Hello, Clash of Clans fans. This is Trample Damage here. Wanted to run through some tips and tricks today on proper pathing for any kind of attack. I wanted to use as an example our last clan war that just finished up here. We actually have had a bad run the last few clan wars. Actually, we dropped a couple of them recently. Some of them were pretty close. So this last war, my main base, my Rochester base, got a 77% 1-star because somebody decided not to employ either of the two main pathing techniques. One is actually funneling the troops into the base, and one is taking your time and sending your troops in waves. We'll run through real quick. I've seen this type of attack before. It's just a bunch of giants, wizards, and witches, and what they do is they create a line of giants, and then they fill in behind that a bunch of wizards, and then they fill in behind that a bunch of witches. Although this person made one of the biggest mistakes you can make of just starting out by dumping your wall wrecker by itself to start taking heavy fire from all kinds of stuff. But ultimately they did giants, wizards, witches, and they're literally just going for like a wave of troops that they're hoping to have hit. Now first off, the wall wrecker didn't make it anywhere near the core, so that's going to be a problem. And because this is an island style base, the troops are essentially just going to run around following the loop of buildings that are here. You know, they're doing all kinds of stuff wrong, but the main thing I wanted to look at is seeing how, without taking your time and just spamming all your troops, or without properly creating a funnel, you're just going to wind up watching your troops run around the outside. And then here you'll see the jump spell is going to come down right here as an attempt to get the troops over there, but nobody's close enough to want to go for the town hall. And then here finally we do see some witches and skeletons are now close enough to that Giga Tesla that literally just eats all those skeletons. They don't even get close. They barely dent the town hall at all. And of course, we wind up with our 77% 1-star. So what I want to do is show a couple of even Town Hall 11 attacks. I used my unicorn base up against that same layout. Let's see. Some psycho. Ooh, level 10 Town Hall with level 3 hogs, level 1 golems. And no thank you. So I started, here we go. So this one was an example, and I know what you're going to say, that's not fair, you already know what the base layout is, but it doesn't make a difference. It winds up being the same thing. I used the same general troop composition. Of course, I'm at a Town Hall 11 instead of a 12, so I had to skim down a little bit of the number of troops. But they have just one jump spell, and they had no wall breakers, but just with the wall wrecker. So I want to show how properly being patient with troops, I went ahead and threw in, you know, troops like you'd normally wind up doing, and I spent a few more giants than I normally would there. And what you'll notice, the key here is patience. I haven't already dumped all of my troops. The attack has been going on for more than 10 seconds at this point, and there are still many troops that have yet to be deployed. When you're coming in against an island base and you're coming against the Eagle Artillery, the main thing is to get the Eagle Artillery as quickly as possible. That way you have an opportunity. And when I say quickly, I don't mean go spam all your troops. I just mean getting to it, so that then you can take your time deploying your troops slowly and methodically elsewhere. I went ahead and put both my heroes in. I wanted to take out, see, there's the tornado trap, definitely screws things up a little bit. We've got the Eagle Artillery down, so the troops have a chance at this point to be able to take their time. Now what you'll see is I dropped in a few more giants down here, a couple more witches. I'm gonna go back this way here, regular speed. So Archer Queen's dead over there, and we've got some troops coming in. I put a few more wizards and giants there. Now here's the thing. Right now, a jump spell placed right here would get us to the town hall. However, troops that are placed anywhere on the perimeter are going to start heading this direction toward that stuff, or actually heading toward that barracks right there. So we needed to be able to see. We went ahead and dumped a couple of wizards up over here. Eventually we dumped some wizards over there. So some work going down there, trying to clear that stuff out. Then went ahead and threw some wizards in up here to take out that elixir storage. Now I put the jump spell and I tested it with one troop, and you can see the reticle appeared on that Inferno tower. So the giant I at least know was going to be heading that direction, which meant that when some witches wind up coming down, they're all going to be targeting the town hall. And just like that, I can go ahead and put the rage spell, Grand Warden triggered, and that town hall just disappears in a heartbeat. And then of course, because of all that patience and waiting and carving deeper and deeper into the base before deploying the massive push of troops, we wind up actually going with a Town Hall 11 against a completely maxed Town Hall 12. The only thing I'm missing are some walls, and we wind up getting a 64%. Now what I wanted to look at is trying to use their troop composition, but also throwing in some wall breakers. Is this one here. Throwing in a couple of wall breakers, which the idea here was just using wall breakers, trying to create a funnel, carving out this corner of the base and this corner of the base, and then wall wrecker to try and get toward the middle. And I failed with wall breakers because I have this base designed to distract them, which is something that can happen to people. Went ahead and put the jump spell in there, went for the wrecker on this side over here, and ultimately wound up running into the exact same thing. And it's because I think sometimes when people are taking shots at these types of bases, they don't use rage and jump early enough in the attack to be able to create the kind of penetration they need to help a wall wrecker by itself actually get to the middle of the base, which is a very common thing you can do. So here, what we opted for instead was a couple of jump spells and rage spells. I took the heal out completely because you don't honestly need the heal if you deploy your troops slowly enough and methodically enough. So started over here, a couple of giants, couple wizards, couple of witches. Same thing up there, couple giants, couple wizards, couple witches. 2 jump spells, 1 on each side. A rage spell and a rage spell, again, 1 on each side because we want to clear out these buildings here and clear out these buildings here and at least get penetration so that the skeletons can distract these other things so that the wall wrecker can actually make it all the way to the middle of the base, which ultimately is how we wind up getting to the town hall here. So you see now the Archer Queen, the Inferno Tower, all those troops are shooting at other stuff, and it's not until the wall wrecker is already into the middle of the base at this point, because these units here were firing at other stuff, and these units here were firing at other stuff, we actually managed to get the penetration, and a clan castle with 4 Valkyries under a rage spell can make short work of a town hall. They come back out and join the rest of the troops. Again, this is just a Town Hall 11 going against a Town Hall 12, showing how using, in this instance, proper funneling to distract troops and create an opportunity for penetration in the middle. You can see that wall wrecker go right through this row, this row, this row, and all the way to the town hall. Or the previous attack where we opted for a very slow, methodical chipping away to create an open path to get into the town hall. We'll wind up doing some other videos like this at some point just to talk through the importance of pathing, because everybody has watched one of their clanmates have Valkyries go running around the outside of the base, or they've watched something like this actually, which was kind of a sad one. Just felt really bad for him. Speaking of large damage percentage whiffs, he was coming in with air dragon or E-drags and some balloons and just went for kind of a long line spray and pray, which I don't often wind up recommending using electro dragons against a really widespread base like this that has such a big gap before getting to the core. Now he definitely came in on the right side, right? He's coming in away from the air sweeper, so he's given his electro dragons the best shot. But he sends the balloon, the battle blimp, right over the middle there, figuring no problem, it's going to take down the town hall. Problem is it's full of balloons, which by themselves aren't necessarily going to hit the town hall. This is not a Town Hall 12 that's going to respond as a defense and eventually give you an opportunity to take it down. So here we've got troops spacing around, balloons working their way around the town hall. This electro dragon saying, I'm going to go ahead and take care of business, as it's actually working its way through getting torched by the air defense against the lava hound. And, you know, similar type of thing you'll see wind up happening. Not cutting enough of a path to get your troops to go where you want them, and you've got electro dragons looping around this side, you've got electro dragon Archer Queen looping around this side, and they just never actually wind up getting into the middle to be able to take down the entire core of the base. And that is just how it winds up falling out sometimes. When you're not planning appropriately for the pathing of the attack, you wind up getting a big, beautiful 1-star with almost 100% damage. So I hope you enjoyed the demonstration of how to path appropriately between a combination of patience and slow planning, or just making sure that you create an effective funnel to get into the base. This is Trample Damage. Make sure that you like the video, subscribe, ask any questions that you have. We can certainly record and post some attacks that'll fit with what you're looking for. Enjoy!